15th of May, 2022. Eden Key rests during the night. But little did they know that evil Flying Scotsman _A3 was plotting a devious plan. In his pocket was a nuclear warhead bomb, which he detonated at midnight. Well, folks, you saw that. Eden Key completely blew up, and now there is this new abomination, which I think might actually look better. And welcome to SCR 1.9. Also, look, here is my proof. You can see it right now. That's my proof. Let's start off with the stations. Now, if you had a brain and skipped the cringe intro I made, then you wouldn't know what station we're at. Well, anyways, we're at Eden Key, which has been updated, and everyone thought it was Ashland Park. I mean, come on, guys. You must have seen the river down there. It was obviously Eden Key. You guys should have seen that one. That was obvious, wasn't it? Well, anyways, at first glance, it just looks like a station along the Morganstown branch, but I think we should investigate it before we come to any conclusions. So, first of all, they've upgraded their steps. How interesting. Well, they've actually bothered to get, like, yellow lines on them, which I appreciate because we didn't have that before, and people could have just gone, and fallen right down, which is very dangerous. We also have bars to stop people from getting their bikes and literally just cycling straight down onto the platform, which is a safety hazard. And also, we have a train coming in. I think it's coming in a little too fast. Never mind. Very nice. There is no entrance. Instead, there is this precarious looking slope, which you walk off, then you put your bike here, and you can get some tickets on these ticket machines. However, there are no ticket barriers to be seen at this station. Also, there is no footbridge or underpass, so the only way you can actually get to the other platform is by exiting the station. So this is a quick speed run on how we will do it. And there you have it, folks. You have to walk about a minute to actually get here, which is a bit ridiculous, but you know what? I like a good walk. You also get to walk down this very dodgy looking alleyway where you will probably get mugged. Not to mention this one. But you know what? I actually quite like the dodginess of this. It feels very dystopian, but in a nice way. I actually don't know if that's possible. But on an upside, you can now experience the streets of San Francisco, but in SCR. How wonderful. And I can't lie, this bridge over the river does look really good indeed. Also, brand new news. Eden Key now has an economy. As you can see, we have Royal's Palace, Flippy's Houses, Frosty Devs, and bases for aces. Not to mention the incredible blue basketball court here. We also have this road, which is likely to cause many car accidents in the future. I'm now going to do another time lapse of running around this town. So remember Starry Lock? This station has nothing to do with Eden Key, but it had a little walk along the sea. Well, if you jump down this cliff just here, you can see Eden Key now has one. I think it actually goes from Neuri, so it's quite a nice walk just along here, and it's quite brightly lit as well. And we have this little bit here, which I think goes over the tracks. Let's check that out. So yeah, no more than a minute's walk from the station, you get to this quite cool bridge where you can look onto the tracks. And as you can see, they come out of two separate tunnels, which is actually quite a cool thing to see. So there's almost like two separate bridges with an island in the middle, and you get a good view of the tracks meeting just here. For some reason, it kind of reminds me of Wales. Now, I expect that none of you want to see me running around this city, so I'm just going to show you some of the coolest bit. This downwards road, which literally goes to another road. It also leads to the station, by the way. a rainbow river, quite a lot of shops, not to mention the incredible view of trains going over this wonderful bridge that we get here. Now, this is where things get very interesting indeed. So, there is only one bridge across the river, and that is a railway bridge, so no one with a car will want to go that way. So, how on earth do you cross? You could swim, but there's no ladder to get back up, or you could take a boat. Duh. But maybe you don't have a boat, so how will you? Well, here's how. And no, this is not the New York subway in SCR or Metro. This is a subway. It is not a rail system. It's another kind of subway. You go down it, and then you walk in it. And gotta say, this is absolutely terrifying. I honestly feel like this is a scene out of a horror movie, if you understand what I mean. It just feels very creepy. Not sure I want to stay down here for a long period of time. Very cool though. Jokes aside, it's actually quite a cool feature, as this is nowhere else in the game. And it kind of feels like SCR has a metro station, except it doesn't. And luckily, there is still the posh key to admire. What's more is we now have the steepest incline in railway history. I would be scared for my life going down that. I would feel as if I'm on a roller coaster. And from physics, I actually don't think it is possible for a train to go up an incline that steep. And if an express train was going down that, it would derail the minute it reaches the bottom. Well, I certainly think that Eden Key has had a very good improvement. But what about the other stations? Now, one thing you may have noticed is the map now looks hideous. Loads of things have changed. Everything feels just back to front. Like, Benton's now on the centre. Stepford, Victoria, and Stepford Central are now down in the bottom left. And Lynn is in the bottom right. And the airport is in the top left. It all feels very out of place and strange. Not to mention the express parts just hurts my brain. This is hard to look at. Subscribe if this is hard to look at. Also, is that a new SCR logo I spy in the top left over there? Anyways, we are here at Neuri, which I think shows SCR's true potential and is a very good sign for the future. First of all is all the unique features it has. I mean, how many bike racks does a station have? This is incredible, to be honest. Like, I've not seen this at a station before, and this is breaking ground for SCR. I also really like how the historic building is connected to this modern part where the entrance is. It's small and it's not that noticeable, but it actually goes very well. But what I think is most impressive is the platforms and the shelters. And I personally believe this might be the best thing to have ever come out of SCR. Because these days, every station is just modern and boring. But this has soul. This feels old and historic, like it's seen every single train. This feels like it has seen steam trains. And oh my gosh, these signs are so interesting. And everything you see, the glass, the shape, it's even the poles and the bars, it's all really interesting. The bits above the windows, the waiting room, it's all very unique and interesting, and SCR doesn't do this that often, so it's very nice to see a station have this. What's more is it is still in the original style of Neuri Station, which I appreciate because a lot of station updates these days are completely different to the reason why we liked the station in the first place, and it took away the character from it. But this station upgrade has kept it. In fact, I think it's even improved it. Not to mention the new style of footbridge, which I do agree looks very nice. I would like to see some more old style footbridges in the future though. I'm wondering if SCR can do that because GCR can. I mean, just look at this view. How can you not love this station? And I really like the station entrance here. It has a ticket office. This is something we do not see in SCR that often. And how everything just feels old and historic, I really like, because we really don't see this in SCR that much. So this feels very, very special. And SCR, don't change this station anymore. Keep it how it is. It's fantastic. And now, the moment you've all been waiting for. Neuri Harbour. I think this might even be my new favourite station in SCR. I mean, just get a load of this. First of all, is you can now drive onto the platform, turn left, and destroy a train with a cement mixer. What is really cool is we have a very big boy boat, And we still have the harbour over there where freight trains turn off and unload freight. But what I love the most is, similar to Neuri, this is an old styled station which feels historic and beautiful. It's got a very wide island platform which has this giant shelter in the middle which goes along it for the whole thing. I'd even call it a station building. And man, is it pretty. It has this very old style canopy, all these windows, and it feels quite Glasgowian, if you know what I mean. Sorry to offend all those people who live in Glasgow. I meant Glaswegian. But look at this. Look at the windows and everything. It looks lovely. And what's more is we have this beautiful waiting room with patterns and everything. It's really rare to see the material wood in SER. Nowadays it's just metal and glass. But this is special. This is something which you don't get often. And the fact that we even have toilets which you cannot go into. SER, please be better than GCR. GCR can do this, you can as well. And this may be just me being dumb, but is it just me, or have they added borders to the platform number signs? That is a very nice touch if that is something they've just added. What I think is quite interesting, however, is you have this turnaround thing where the tracks they split. So this kind of references the steam age, where the steam trains would decouple and move to the end of the coach. But there is no terminus track over here. However, on this side, there are two buffers, which I find very interesting. What's more is you have a second station exit, which allows passengers to transfer from the trains right onto the boat. Personally, the station is beautiful, and I was getting worried because I was thinking every station would be a modern, ugly, horrible piece of rubbish in the future. And Connolly was the only surviving piece of old architecture, but finally we've got something old and interesting for once. So I will definitely give SER credit on this one, as this is just beautiful and it's really interesting as well. I mean, it's really weird to see a guardrail and a road at a station, but so cool at the same time. What is weird to see now is you can now spawn at these stations on Express, as Express goes here as well. So here are the new routes. We have Neuri to Leighton City, Neuri Harbour to Lynn, Neuri to Lynn, and I think that is it. Sadly, there isn't a Neuri to Stepford Central, but it would be really cool if we could get that in the future. Neuri also has a new depot, which has the atrocity known as the Class 68 inside of it. What's called is Neuri is now a suburbia. Here's a quick time lapse of what it looks like to be a driver between Neuri and Neuri Harbour. Well folks, that's everything I could find in this new update. I hope you enjoyed this video, and like and subscribe if you'd like to see some more. Goodbye.